You're not funny.
Great sitcoms are delicate ecosystems. They look effortless. 22 minutes of banter, familiar sets, and a rhythm you can hum. But underneath is a fragile balance of tone, timing, and character chemistry. When that balance tips, you feel it right away. The laughs get thinner. The episode beats start bending around a new element that doesn't quite belong. Sometimes it's a rating CPR move. Add a precocious kid, jump a baby 5 years, swap in a replacement lead, or bolt on an eccentric neighbor who swallows scenes whole. Other times it's a single wild cannon swing that breaks the world's internal rules and dares you to keep caring. We've seen the pattern so often it has a name: Cousin Oliver syndrome. Late in a run, a show tries to recapture early magic by changing the recipe instead of reseasoning what already worked. The result? A character who may be fine on paper, but who warps tone, hijacks screen time, or reminds fans that the writer's room is running on fumes. Not every edition fail, plenty work out, plenty do work, and none of the actors here are the villain. This is about fit. It's about how one choice, often made under network pressure, cast exits, or contract chaos, can make a beloved sitcom feel like it's imitating itself. So let's revisit infamous shakeups. Some are cute kid fixes, some are continuity headaches, and one is a single episode that still sparks message board wars. Along the way, notice the common thread. When a character serves the show's soul, audiences lean in. When a character serves a problem, audiences feel used. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get to the list. 13. Olivia Kendall. The Cosby Show. Raven Simone's Olivia arrived in Season 6 as Denise's stepdaughter, instantly charismatic, wildly talented, and tailor-made for cute, heartwarming children's scenes that both made you laugh and admire the actress's cuteness. She wasn't a misfire so much as a recalibration signal. The Cosby Show's early magic came from razor-observant family banter and specific generational rhythms. As Olivia became a fixture, story weight tilted toward kid-centric set pieces, musical numbers, and showcase moments that traded observational warmth for engineered cuteness. It worked in the short term. Audiences loved her, but it also crowded the ensemble's older dynamics, squeezing teen arcs and sanding down the show's once effortless naturalism. The addition telegraphed a late-run pivot from sly slice-of-life to glossy variety. Olivia didn't ruin the Huxtables. She became the face of a tonal softening that longtime fans felt in their bones. And once a sitcom starts chasing ah-wah, it's only a half step to the next hallmark move: the baby who returns as a ready-made joke machine. 12. Cousin Oliver. The Brady Bunch. Cousin Oliver didn't merely join the Bradys. He became TV shorthand for "we're out of ideas." Dropped into the final stretch as a prepackaged burst of all Oliver, was engineered to refresh a wholesome family sitcom already bursting with wholesome kids. The issue wasn't just cuteness overload, it was tonal displacement. Storylines that once sprang organically from the 6 Brady siblings suddenly pivoted to setups built around Oliver's wide-eyed innocence. You could hear the gears grinding, wink-wink jokes, uh-oh reaction shots, and a gentle nudge at the audience to adopt this new center of gravity. Fans smelled the calculation. It didn't help that he lacked a clear, earned relationship with any specific Brady, so scenes felt stapled on rather than woven in. Instead of reviving the show, Oliver became the cultural caution label for every late-season kid who followed, proof that even gentle comedies can feel plastic when the seams show. And once the cute kid ratings fix became conventional wisdom, edgier shows tried it too, with far rougher results. 11. Seven. Married with Children. If Oliver was sugar, Seven was styrofoam. Light, inorganic, and impossible to digest. He materialized as a Bundy relative and instantly collided with the show's core rhythm: All's gleeful misery, Peg's weaponized apathy, and kids who punch back with cruelty as sharp as the laugh track. Seven had none of that voltage. His joke was presence. Story beats bent into kid moment detours that blunted the Bundys' mean-spirited ballet. The audience revolt was swift. The writers quietly disappeared him, turning the vanishing act itself into a meta-gag. It was a rare instance where the show admitted a mistake on screen, but the damage was done. Viewers had already clocked the desperation. He didn't deepen anyone, he just siphoned oxygen. Not every misfit is pint-sized, though. Sometimes the wrong vibe shows up as a brooding teen with a different genre's weight in his backpack. 10. Luke Brower. Growing Pains. Young Leonardo DiCaprio brought star power and sincerity, but Growing Pains thrived on warm, suburban bounce. Luke's street-tough, very special episode energy tugged the show toward issue drama territory. Instead of the Seaver's elastic quips, we got tonal potholes, heartfelt monologues, solemn strings, and B-plots that felt transplanted from a family drama. Luke wasn't a bad character. He was a center of gravity change. The series started calibrating around his redemption arc, shrinking the playful space where Mike's goofiness and Carol's earnestness used to breathe. Even when episodes worked individually, the cumulative shift made the show feel like it was lecturing more than laughing. He solved a scheduling and freshness problem, but at the cost of the show's breezy identity. When fresh energy doesn't land, sitcoms often reach for an even riskier shortcut: skip a few birthdays and turn a baby into a banter machine. 9. Andy Keaton, Family Ties. If Luke Brower hinted at a tonal pivot, Andy Keaton put it on fast forward literally. Born in Season 3, Andy returns by Season 5 as a fully quipping kindergartner. A classic instant precocious kid maneuver. The early Family Ties magic balanced Stephen and Elise's boomer idealism against Alex's turbocharged Reaganomics, with Mallory and Jennifer adding texture. Aging Andy up shifted story gravity toward oddball beats and kiddie hijinks, smoothing the show's sharper ideological edges. Episodes that once hinged on Alex's ruthless ambition or Stephen's principled stumbles now paused for classroom capers and cute button scenes. It wasn't that Andy was unlikable, he was engineered to be adorable. It's that the addition trimmed the show's bite, nudging it from smart culture clash comedy into safer toy aisle family fare. And that impulse to soften a show's rougher edges with sweetness wasn't limited to one network or one decade. 8. Stephanie Mills, All in the Family. Bringing in Stephanie aimed to humanize Archie, giving him moments of tenderness to balance the bigotry that powered the original show's combustible debates. For a while, it worked commercially. Creatively, it cost edge. Episodes that once staged bruising living room arguments pivoted toward sweet, lesson-forward plots, where Archie learned to be gentler for the sake of the kid. The series' DNA, adult conflict wrapped in wicked jokes thinned into cozy sentiment. Stephanie didn't ruin Archie, she reframed him. The audience recalibrated from "Are we really going there?" to "Ah, okay." That shift muffled the series' cultural crackle. Once sweetness works, networks keep pouring, leading other shows to try the same sugar rush with new kids who weren't built for the job. 7. Sam McKinney, Diff'rent Strokes. Diff'rent Strokes launched with a near-perfect triangle: Mr. Drummond's reserve, Willis's teenage cool, and Arnold's nuclear charisma. Add Sam, and the tight orbit wobbled. Plots bent toward his earnest misunderstandings, while Arnold's kinetic mischief once the show's heartbeat had to share oxygen. The tonal mix already drifting sweeter tipped into syrup. Audiences didn't reject Sam so much as resent the dilution. The classic catchphrases slowed, the pointed culture clash jokes softened, and the show felt like it was protecting a new toy rather than letting the original trio keep crashing into each other. Even when individual Sam stories were fine, the macro effect was clear. The engine that brought you in was idling while a new carburetor got tested. And just when one new kid strains the balance, imagine adding another satellite to a universe already warped by a breakout star. 6. 3J, Family Matters. Urkel had already morphed Family Matters from a Winslow family sitcom into a cartoon-adjacent sci-fi romp. Time machines, cloning, you name it. 3J's arrival added genuine heart, but structurally it doubled down on the show's least grounded impulse, piling new satellites around a star so bright he had already bent the series into a new genre. With 3J on board, more narratives left the family's down-to-earth warmth in favor of cute moments that couldn't compete with Urkel's spectacle. The Winslows, the original identity, moved another step into the background, and the show's center blurred. 3J wasn't the villain. He was a symptom of a series that kept solving problems by adding bodies. Sometimes the fix isn't more, though, it's older, as in jump the baby ahead and let him talk. That can be cute, and it can be a warning sign. 5. Nicky Banks, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Fresh Prince was a miracle of tone, fish-out-of-water swagger, class satire, and genuine family pathos, all buoyed by Will's hurricane charm. When baby Nicky reappeared aged up into a quip machine, the show signaled its late-run phase. It wasn't catastrophic, Will could carry anything, but the baby-to-bit player jump nudged the series towards safer family hijinks and away from the brash social commentary that made its middle seasons sing. Age-jumped Nicky fit the all-wall quota, while the ensemble weathered other behind-the-scenes shifts, and the overall edge dulled. Even if you liked Nicky, you probably felt the tonal slide from sharp satire to comfy familiarity. Comfy is fine, until a lead exits and the replacement chemistry can't spark at all. 4. Randy Pearson, That 70s Show. When Eric and Kelso left, the basement lost its gravitational core. Randy was meant to be easygoing connective tissue, handsome, nice, unthreatening. In the roundtable burn of that '70s show, that translated to silence between jokes. Chemistry isn't just likability, it's kinetic friction. Eric's neurotic spark and Kelso's beautiful stupidity filled the air with ricochet lines. Randy absorbed energy instead of generating it. Scenes felt flatter, jokes landed softer, and the gang's codependent magic frayed. You could still stage familiar rituals, the circle, the driveway, the Foreman kitchen, but the music changed. Viewers recognized the set and missed the song. Continuity hiccups can hurt just as much as chemistry gaps, especially when a new classmate lives in a pocket universe. 3. Tori Scott, Saved by the Bell. Tori's not a bad character. The problem is the Tori timeline, a production workaround that created episodes where Kelly and Jesse simply weren't there, replaced by a leather-jacketed newcomer who never coexisted with the original group. Bayside suddenly felt like two parallel realities edited out of order. Sitcoms are comfort machines. You want to feel like you're hanging with your friends. The Tori run made fans feel gaslit, like lunchtime changed cafeterias without warning. Even viewers who liked her vibe resented the dissonance. Graduations and friendships didn't add up. The result, lingering annoyance unfairly attached to the character who embodied the fix. And when a fix already feels alien, importing sketch show energy into a family hangout sitcom can push things from odd to off-putting. 2. Jean-Luc Ryu, Step by Step. Bronson Pinchot can light up a camera, but Jean-Luc's wacky French stylist energy crashed into Step by Step's gentle family cadence. Instead of supporting a Lambert Foster story, episodes became Jean-Luc showcases, accent gags, mugging, and big reactions that bent the A-plot around the guest vibe. It felt like a crossover from a broader, louder sitcom, and the family ensemble this show's quiet superpower shrunk to orbit. He didn't deepen Frank or Carol, he commandeered screen time, warping plots into sketches. Even fans who enjoy Pinchot's style could feel the mismatch. Proof that a strong flavor overwhelms a dish if it isn't in the recipe. But nothing breaks the spell quite like detonating canon in one episode and asking everyone to pretend it never happened. 1. Armin Tamzarian, The Simpsons. Principal Skinner isn't really Skinner, is still a 4-word grenade. In one episode, the show revealed that our buttoned-up disciplinarian was actually Armin Tamzarian, an imposter, then restored the status quo with a town-wide decree to never mention it again. The problem wasn't just the twist, it was the message it sent. Continuity can be bent into a pretzel and snapped back with a wink. Even in a cartoon universe, emotional truth anchors jokes. Skinner's relationship with his mother, with students, with duty, all of it was retrofitted as a bit. Fans laughed, then felt the floorboards creak. It's hard to fully invest when the world admits it can shrug off its own history. The episode is funny, sure, but it also taught viewers not to care quite as much. And that, more than any single character, is how a sitcom's spell wears off, when the world stops believing in itself. One character rarely ruins a sitcom alone. What they do is expose strain, additions that serve character truth. Cheers, bringing in Rebecca's ambitious, brittle energy. Frasier introducing Daphne's brothers for controlled chaos can elevate an ensemble. Additions that serve fear of ratings drops, cast exits, or aging demographics usually don't. Viewers can sense when a series stops telling its story and starts solving a problem. So the next time a new kid knocks on the door or a friend of a friend slides into the booth, listen for the show's heartbeat. If the rhythm gets stronger, you've met a keeper. If the laugh track gets louder but the laughs feel lighter, you might be watching the moment your favorite sitcom quietly changed into a different show.